Welcome to Skill Issue episode 2, and today it's going to be Battlebertil in the T95 against SomeRandomStreamer in the mouse. I'm Jim, I'm Bob, and let's go. Both combatants are going to fight on the map Fields of Poland, the version of the year 2022. And as one can guess by how long this video is, this match and the subsequent duels are going to be quite exciting. As you can see, we're starting with a very exciting match first off, and that is obviously the two vehicles. Yeah, it's very exciting. You see, the mouse is driving in a straight line, which it often does, and is very, very, very exciting. That's right, Jim. Thank you, Bob. Yes. Anyways, in case anyone wonders what the music is, that is the same music that is used in the incredibly entertaining Mouse Monday intros, which are just the music being played for a short while, which is very cool. I think it really encapsulates the way the mouse moves in a straight line and its bigness. That's right, Jim. Anyways, this commentary is live and improvised, so let's get ready for an exciting match and see who wins. Is it the mouse or the T95? Yes. Well, Jim, I personally think it's going to be the mouse. That's right, Bob. I mean Jim. I'm Jim. I'm Bob. Yes. Well, as you can see here, right at this very scene, this very frame, well, a disused frame that was supposed to be here, is the outro screen for all War Thunder streams, and especially Mouse Monday. It was shot from a screenshot from this very match, which is a very exciting piece of information which you most likely were dying to know. But as you can see, SomeRandomStreamer is still driving in a straight line, and has so for the last 2.5 minutes. As you can see, they're both probably taking quite a long time driving through all the hills and trees and other things that happen to be on this map, which was revoked sometimes in 2023. There we have Battlebertil driving in a straight line, and I do have to tell you, dear viewers, that this match unfortunately will have a limited amount of Battlebertil footage, simply due to the fact that the replay function once again was a bit whoop-de-doo, not giving lots of footage for him. But it seems like Battlebertil and the mouse might have spotted each other already, at a distance of roughly 2 kilometers, if I were to guess from memory. Okay, SomeRandomStreamer opens fire. That is a shell. Yes, very cool. It's flying, and I believe it ricocheted, missed. T95, commanded by Battlebertil, is shooting back and misses as well. What a cinematic shot! Wow. Now SomeRandomStreamer is ranging and trying to fire back. Let's see if it hits. And it appears to have been a hit and a miss both at the same time. The replay just wasn't very sure about what happened there. As we can see, Bertil is shooting back and has missed that shot. Now at this distance, both attacks are highly unlikely to do any considerable damage to each other. And it appears Battlebertil is repositioning to get closer to be able to actually penetrate the mouse through the weak spot that is located in its third MG in the hull. SomeRandomStreamer, realizing he cannot penetrate the frontal armor of the T95 at that distance, is also moving in ever closer, hoping to get a lucky shot either through a weak point or the hatch, which also is a weak point. Very exciting, Jim. Thank you, Bob. Now with both closing in ever closer, the chances for both of them to penetrate are increasing, as you can see with the orange MG. Bertil has already tried to fire through the weak spot, and it seems like with the very exciting music, SomeRandomStreamer is now engaging, trying to push in, but Battlebertil is using his superior MG with the 50 cal Browning to disable and immobilize SomeRandomStreamer's mouse, who's just sort of just sitting there and preparing right now. Thank you, Bob. Why can I speak for a minute? I don't know, Jim. It appears the second shot or the third shot, I didn't count, did creep through the weak spot on the mouse's hull, and SomeRandomStreamer is down to 4 crew members, which I didn't count either. With a little bit of lag, Bertil continues to fire right into the tracks of the mouse, aiming to immobilize it. SomeRandomStreamer is trying dearly to shoot through the hatches and incapacitate some of the crew members while hiding behind smoke. However, SomeRandomStreamer is at a disadvantage because he, for some reason, thinks it's cool to use the gunner side all the time. Wow, Bob, thank you. I'm still Jim. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Bob. Now SomeRandomStreamer is still shooting and hoping that the smoke screen does give him a tiny bit of advantage, hoping that Bertil will have a much harder time shooting its weak spots, who has apparently changed his tactics and aiming exclusively for his tracks to prevent SomeRandomStreamer from just pushing in and perhaps, after mobilizing Bertil himself, shooting the T95 through the side or back. It appears Bertil is now either bored or courageous, and ever more encroaching on the position of the mouse, SomeRandomStreamer being slightly desperate in his attempts to counter fire and stop the attempt of the T95. With the repair of the track still pending, it is unknown whether or not SomeRandomStreamer will be able to escape, and there he goes, apparently disabled. One of the tracks on the T95 unfortunately disabled the track on the left side of the T95, which means that it will have a much easier time to turn around, and shoot at the mouse. Here's SomeRandomStreamer hoping to disable the seeing things of the T95 by spamming smoke shells and desperately trying to run away with only 2 crew members remaining. It seems like SomeRandomStreamer is going to try a stupid thing, which is turning around and exposing his side ever more to the T95 instead of spamming smoke shells, which he might have run out of at this point. And he is turning around for some reason, exposing his weak spot, which is the side of the tank, hoping to perhaps frontally tank incoming shots from the T95. With his tracks now disabled, he cannot move anymore. He's trying to shoot one more time. Bertil is over there trying to align a shot. It's not looking good for SomeRandomStreamer, who apparently didn't do any more damage over here. And now it seems Bertil is finally, with the repair track, able to counter fire. And there we go. This round goes to Battlebertil. Welcome to round 2. Now SomeRandomStreamer has just shot in the air for some reason we do not know. It appears the funny jet from earlier has transformed into a helicopter and also still does not know that it means that no means no. And it's just driving around and apparently has been shot down by Battlebertil, who's also now annoyed by the helicopter being a big old meanie. Very good machine gun skill. Here we go with real round 2, and both sides seem to have respawned and are ready for the next round. Will SomeRandomStreamer Are you okay, Jim? Yes, I am, Bob. Will SomeRandomStreamer repeat the same mistakes as before or do a different tactic? We do not know. After a short introspection, which is still going on, SomeRandomStreamer will soon, with the help of very exciting music, advance towards the battlefield. There we go. It only took about 5 to 10 minutes and now the mouse is on the move. Now, as we can see, it's going to take quite a long time for the mouse to arrive at the battlefield again. Isn't that correct, Jim? I mean, Bob? Thank you, Bob. Yes, it is going to take a long time, and for now I'm going to talk for like 10 seconds, which is pretty cool. Thank you, Bob. Here comes the helicopter again, commanded by Battlebertil, which is a very cringe name from a very cringe person. He's trying for a second attack run after being told multiple times to not interfere. SomeRandomStreamer seems to be quite angry and firing at the helicopter, which is doing various evasion maneuvers. And now seemingly still under fire, trying to get a different approach, but so far hasn't fired back, which is at least something, I suppose. We suppose. Isn't it right, Bob? Yes, Jim. Okay. It appears the helicopter is also under fire by the artillery of the mouse as well as of the airfield, with the airfield doing no damage. Neither does the mouse, but it didn't hit, so it doesn't do any damage. That's right, Bob. Thank you, Jim. I'm Jim. You're Bob. No, I'm Bob. You're Jim. That's right. Okay, now SomeRandomStreamer is being under attack by the helicopter while I have a schizophrenic breakdown. Unfortunately, the helicopter did not manage to hit any part of the mouse, which actually is fortunate. The very exciting music gives us an idea that this is very cool. Okay, now SomeRandomStreamer has been for the last few business days still on the way to meet the T95 for round 2, and the helicopter has been harassing since. Any day now, SomeRandomStreamer should be able to arrive with the mouse driving past the jayed-out wreckage of the previous round's T95. It appears the helicopter is now landing, as understanding that they're not supposed to fly around and disrupt the match. Why SomeRandomStreamer doesn't just ban COVID, we don't know. It's a mystery to all of us. But perhaps there are different ways to deal with such a thing. This round goes to and he's shooting a second time to make sure. Good job, SomeRandomStreamer. He wins this round. Wow. Jim, can you tell me why you were talking so weird there for a second? I don't know, Bob. I was trying to do something new, but it did not work. Very interesting, Jim. Thank you, Bob. Why do you sound now different? No, Jim. Thank you, Bob. Now with the T95 ever slowly, ever more advancing in a straight line, pretty much reminiscent of what happened the previous match, we are all excited to see how this situation develops. It appears T95 truly is driving in a straight line, and this duel of the giants perhaps will reach its conclusion, but judging by the video length of it won't, or go into its next round following this round. They most likely will start with a long-range engagement before proceeding to try to win over each other in CQB. And here comes SomeRandomStreamer crescending the same hill he died earlier at, shooting the T95 which spawned delayed. It appears that Battlebertil realized his advantage of having the MG, which is very, very, very good at shooting out the tracks on the mouse. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Bob. Okay, now using his own corpse as cover, SomeRandomStreamer is carefully approaching the situation, hoping to be able to shoot Bertil, as one would probably expect. Yes. And now he has shot a BT-5 with his cannon only disabled its track. It appears the helicopter has switched to BT-5. Very interesting. It appears the T95 did destroy the tracks on the mouse by shooting under the wreckage of the previous mouse, while SomeRandomStreamer is extremely confused, thinking Bertil was able to shoot through the corpse of the previous mouse. Trying to shoot through the corpse of the mouse, he is not having much luck hitting Bertil on the other side of it. It's only a matter of time until SomeRandomStreamer realizes Bertil managed to shoot under the mouse, disabling both tracks and killing 2 crew members so far, with continuous fire. Now, while having an awkward standoff and Bertil continuing his shooting, the BT-5 apparently wants to get a closer look at the situation. SomeRandomStreamer is obviously quite annoyed by the situation and the obvious interference of the BT-5 in this match, and now has to choose whether or not to continue the awkward standoff by advancing with the corpse of the mouse in front of it. And it seems SomeRandomStreamer's track has been disabled yet again and expertly dealt with the BT-5. Now, after this round is yet another win for SomeRandomStreamer. The match continues with Bertil being more brave. That's right, Jim. Now, with the barrel of SomeRandomStreamer's mouse disabled, it appears he is not going to have much chance to take out any of the modules on the T95, with there not being enough gun depression to take out any of the tracks in time. Bertil is positioning to aim at the weak spot and for some reason missed. This is a very damaged mouse that is currently completely immobilized due to the engine being out of order. Thank you, Bob. Now, after careful observation, Bertil is trying to definitely get a one-shot in by shooting at the ammo box of the mouse. It's only a matter of time until this match is over. SomeRandomStreamer tries to desperately shoot back, and this round goes to Battlebertil. Now, normally, after this match would be over. This tourney, this word for competition would be over. But no, judging by the video length, which only has reached about half, we can still assume that there's more exciting matches to be done. That was a very vibrating push. Thank you, Jim. Now I'm Bob, and now I'm going to talk for some minute to continue the bit of two people actually talking, which are definitely real. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Jim. Now SomeRandomStreamer is driving in a straight line as he did previously, and apparently on pretty much the same path as previously. Oh no, never mind, he is driving to the town, hoping to be able to perhaps counteract the advantages of the T95 over the mouse, which is mainly better frontal armor, harder to penetrate with its gun. Yes, we now just have to wait a minute until the mouse arrives over there. In case some people haven't noticed, the mouse is a rather slow vehicle. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Bob. Now this commentary is still grade A, incredible, and improvised on the spot. Isn't that cool, Bob? Yes, Jim. Okay, now it appears SomeRandomStreamer has changed his mind upon realizing that it does indeed take some time with the mouse to drive in a straight line, and is going for this pretty much same approach route as in the previous games. What a beautiful pass. Bob, why did you talk so weird? I don't know, Jim. Now with the mouse advancing to the very same position again as previously, one is to wonder how this match will end. Will it be the same as the previous two, or perhaps SomeRandomStreamer will have learned from his mistakes and do something different, and not doing the same thing over and over. This is the jaw of life commentary, messed up words. And there comes the BT5, doing the forbidden action of scouting for the enemy team, which in this case is Bertil. Now the cringe action of the BT5 is ever more cringe. With the BT5 advancing ever closer to the mouse, it appears to be hostile. Let's see what the BT5 does to interfere with this very fair match. Okay, it appears to try to block the way for the mouse, and the mouse did the only thing it could do in the situation. Yet another win for SomeRandomStreamer. Now with this nuisance stealth, SomeRandomStreamer is going to, as we've all probably assumed and guessed and know, to the very same spot he died 2 times at already. That is very exciting, Jim. Thank you, Bob. Now both do drive at a straight line, which I could probably show if the replay function wouldn't be so bugged. Fun fact about this map, this was reworked in 2023 and is different now to what you see now. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Bob. Now SomeRandomStreamer is doing some mild deforestation, and here is Bertil driving in a straight line in a clip that makes me wonder if it has been reused. Both sides have spotted each other. Apparently SomeRandomStreamer has not yet spotted the T95 and is still looking around trying to find it, with Battlebertil already at approach for combat. It appears SomeRandomStreamer has now spotted the T95 and is trying his best to counterattack. Okay, he's doing the same thing again and shooting at the sloped armor on the side of the T95 as well as in the ground 100 meters in front of it. That's right, Bob. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Bob. We are not confused as to who each of us is. That's right, Jim. Now SomeRandomStreamer is doing a standoff again. He would be good advised to utilize the advantage of his smoke shells to try to disoriented T95, but it would not be much use because the T95 is already shooting the tracks out on the mouse, leveraging its advantage. Perhaps this could have been prevented if the mouse shot his smoke shells earlier. Now out of anger and spite, SomeRandomStreamer is shooting with his MG against T95, not doing much damage, but utilizing his auxiliary and main cannon to destabilize and destroy the tracks of the T95, while a stinky little locust is advancing on the battlefield and actively interfering by opening fire on the mouse. SomeRandomStreamer is now retreating with the T95 lodged on a ledge, which could prove advantageous for the mouse. Here comes the M22 from the side trying to interfere with the match, which is incredibly cringe after being told 10 times to not do so. Okay, SomeRandomStreamer is trying to back on the fact that the T95 is immobilized, with the small little cringe vehicle still coming in and shooting at the track of the mouse, which is incredibly cringe and stinky. As we can see, SomeRandomStreamer is still advancing, but the T95 has been able to move since one side of his tracks are not disabled. After a long time, SomeRandomStreamer spryly realized to shoot the MG of the T95 to disable one of its biggest advantages over the mouse. Well, Bob, I will talk now, and it appears now the track of the mouse has been disabled by the T95 at an easy shot. But SomeRandomStreamer is still trying to shoot through the copyleft, but unfortunately is not going to be able to do much with the MG still being active. The little cringe vehicle is still very stinky and looking behind the bush at the mouse, and also firing at the mouse. With now most of the turret disabled and the bridge in the red state, it is highly unlikely that SomeRandomStreamer will be able to win this match. Okay, they're still setting out the situation. Perhaps SomeRandomStreamer will be able to rescue himself from the situation, but it's highly unlikely with now the barrel destroyed as well. That's right, Jim. An unfortunate situation SomeRandomStreamer found himself in this time. Okay, now it appears that SomeRandomStreamer is trying to deal with the locust to get at least one small victory out of this match. And there he goes. The winner for this round is Battlebertil. Okay, it appears now that Battlebertil has won this match after undoubtedly the help from the cringe little M22 locust, who's now also destroyed. Well, this was a very exciting match, and perhaps SomeRandomStreamer will respawn in the mouse yet again to see if a fourth time he can win. Oh no. It appears SomeRandomStreamer has entered the Mouse Mark II, otherwise known as the Mi-24, and is now engaging the T95, who's already firing back. He's using rockets, and it seems like an ATGM is heading its way for the T95, disabled its frontal tracks and destroyed the T95. Excellent win. With SomeRandomStreamer now in the Mouse Mark II, he has a much better chance at winning. That's right, Jim. Thank you, Bob. Wow. It appears a jet has also joined the fray, which is definitely a word. Okay, it appears now the M24 will be fighting against the jet, deploying flares and hoping to be able to get the better shot at the jet before the jet can use its superior speed to strafe the helicopter, being mostly stationary in the air. This appears to be the noise of locking on, and SomeRandomStreamer for some reason fires his ATGM and a missile right behind it, making the flares of the fighter jet useless, and his own missile as well. Now with round 2, Bertil has switched to an M1 Abrams. SomeRandomStreamer has respawned and is prepared to go for round 2 of this epic battle against Bertil. Hehe. Which is one of the signature quotes of Bertil. Hehe. In case anybody wonders. One of SomeRandomStreamer's signature quotes are, let's see, what is at C point, in case anybody wondered. Now SomeRandomStreamer is still trying to shoot down the other jet with his R60 missiles. However, one of these, it appears SomeRandomStreamer has been able to shoot down the F5 using his frontal cannon. Now the F5 seems to be struggling, but the pilot is jaying out, abandoning the aircraft. And this round goes to SomeRandomStreamer. However, SomeRandomStreamer was definitely not very much damaged by this round and is now under attack by Battlebertil using long-range fire and he shells, almost swatting the Mi-24 out of the sky. This is a shell. Now SomeRandomStreamer is going to have to be careful to not engage the tank too closely due to the roof MG mounted on all American tanks, which is quite potent as an impromptu anti-aircraft gun. SomeRandomStreamer is going with a barrage of anti-tank missiles, doing only minor damage to the approaching tank. SomeRandomStreamer is now trying to fly over the tank and pack it from the side, unfortunately getting quite close to its own MG. It appears SomeRandomStreamer has made a fatal mistake by slowing down very low, very close to the tank with the Browning on the roof, and is receiving major damage from multiple shots, and as we can hear, is now going down. As well as see, but he's going down. Well, this round goes to Battlebertil. And for the third round of the helicopter fighting the M1 Abrams in this match, where a mouse is supposed to fight against a T95. The helicopter is taking off again, doing its best to try to take out the modern American battle tank. Armed with rocket pods, 4 anti-air missiles and 4 ATGMs. One can wonder how this match might end. Okay, it appears another jet might be approaching, causing SomeRandomStreamer to change course, trying to intercept its own approach. The approach of the jet. Shut up. What are you talking about, Jim? Don't worry, Bob. Here comes the F-14, a slight upgrade over the F-5, trying to engage the Mi-24, who is already trying to shoot back and flaring in hopes they work. That was a pretty cool shot. That's right, Bob. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Bob. Now SomeRandomStreamer is trying to shoot back, shooting his ATGM for some godforsaken reason, because he has stupidly set his keybinds to be stupid. Okay, it looks like the missile did try to track the F-14, unfortunately got disoriented by the flares, and unfortunately the F-14 managed to hit the Mi-24 critically, and it's now going down. He's shooting one more missile, but it got distracted by flares. This round goes to COVID. Well, I'm Jim, and I'm Bob. We're both talking with the same voice, and neither of us has any idea what the frick is still happening. Here's an F-14 in this mouse against a T95 match, going for an attack 1 on an Mi-24 that apparently still has some fight left in it. Just coming up from the airfield, he is shooting a singular anti-air missile as opposed to an ATGM leading it and completely making it useless. He just got shot down again. Well, Bob, it appears the helicopter is flying yet again. That's right, Jim, which is very exciting. We don't know why this is happening or why we're still doing this, but as we can see, this helicopter is ready to try to shoot the F-14 down for the third time. Here fires the AM, going straight at the incoming F-14, who's coming in, trying to do a strafe run, and just crashes into the ground through the head. Okay. The fact that we're running out of numbers to use definitely is not a sign of things taking too long and being too unnecessary. But now, with the helicopter still in the fight. It is now deciding to take an advantage. Its advantage of being able to fly and try to take down the M1 Abrams, which shouldn't be too hard with being armed with multiple rockets as well as ATGMs and a quite potent frontal cannon. Okay, the M1 Abrams being driven by Bertil is already firing at the helicopter, not doing too much damage. He's hiding behind the trees to be sort of obscured, while his muzzle flash still does give away his position. Expertly intercepting with the ATGMs fired by SomeRandomStreamer, he is going to be hit by the second one to not much effect. SomeRandomStreamer is apparently trying to get closer to get through his roof armor using his missiles, and he's now trying to evade his shots from the MG and shooting again at a flying jet, which is the F-14, and his own missile is again neutralized by its own ATGMs, which he is shooting. And here comes the F-14 trying to shoot down SomeRandomStreamer, who is actually able to shoot down the F-14. Good job. Emboldened by this incredible success, SomeRandomStreamer is now going to go on the offensive and try to kill the M1 Abrams over there, hiding in the things with an excellent rocket barrage, disabling its mobility, trying to go in and get...
It appears the helicopter crashed, Jim. Shut up, Bob.
Now, it appears we're still doing this, and now SomeRandomStreamer is in a helicopter with his gear out and now removing it by crashing into the ground. We do not know what he's doing. Perhaps he's trying to make the vehicle more better in the air by weighing it down by removing the wheels, but one is left to argue that perhaps the giant holes where the wheels once were are now adding extra drag, negating his efforts. It appears SomeRandomStreamer is trying a new tactic, which is to fly low, hoping that this way he will be able to do more damage to the Abrams. Here comes the F-14 again, very slightly avoiding a crash into the Mi-24, which might actually be flying this close to the ground to avoid the F-14. Let's see what the F-14 comes again, and if it is successful, or perhaps the Mi-24 or even the Abrams will be able to shoot it down. SomeRandomStreamer is still flying close to the ground, seemingly knowing what he's doing, which is unlikely.
Okay, Jim.
Okay, SomeRandomStreamer sees the F-14 approaching again and is aiming towards the sky, trying to intercept it yet again with his frontal cannon and shooting an AM without an ATGM in front for once, which is immediately going for flares. Actively flaring, the F-14 is going in, trying to shoot down, and both have hit each other and critically damaged each other, but COVID is still in his airplane, and it remains to be seen whether or not he bails out, and looks like this round's a draw. Okay, but this time we've run out of even more numbers, and perhaps this match against the Mouse and the T95 has gone places it maybe shouldn't have. SomeRandomStreamer's helicopter has now turned into a car, and perhaps that is a sign that this is taking a tiny bit too long and going places where it shouldn't be. Anyways, now this match of a T95 against the Mouse. The clear winner is the T95, commanded by Battlebertil, with a very close almost win by the Mouse, commanded by SomeRandomStreamer in this match. We hope that this video was enjoyable, at least somewhat entertaining. Thank you for watching, perhaps until next time. I'm Jim, I'm Bob. Thank you for watching, goodbye.